Chhavi Rajawat is joining me. She was the Sarpanch of Soda village in Rajasthan's Tonk. And let me get her to speak about and share her experience. Chhavi, thank you. We have often said that in Panchayati Raj system, women are proxies of their men. They are almost like rubber stamps. And this is also often seen as mere tokenism, because when it is about the implementation in letter and spirit, that doesn't happen. And similar fear is being shared with regards to this legislation, if it is about reservation and if it gets implemented, and I'm sure it will, with 33% reservation for women in Lok Sabha and in state assemblies. Will it be about tokenism?
I don't think so, because at this level, I do hope more educated women are going to come forth, and I think there is a greater voice as far as women issues are concerned, what women want, what the youth wants, and there are various platforms through which people are becoming very vocal and sharing those aspects, which earlier, I think because of lack of such platforms, a lot of voices were not heard. And when women are going to come forth and take on leadership roles, they will be able to voice these issues much louder and hopefully more collectively. So therefore, I am hopeful this is not going to be tokenism. And while there may still be some element of proxy leadership, but by and large, I think women on their own, like myself, will take on leadership roles to make the change that we need to see. The beauty about this, I feel, is the fact that it is happening with all parties recognizing us women as very important vote bank, and also recognizing the fact that we make our own decisions. In the past, and even in rural areas up until fairly recently, a woman and children, including the youth, would often only vote for the person that the head of the family would tell them to, which primarily would be a man. But as of today, irrespective of what the men think, the women and the youth make their own decisions and an informed decision and cast the vote accordingly. And that is what I think politicians and governments are recognizing and hopefully appreciating, and therefore milestone steps which need to be taken are finally beginning to happen. So I personally am very, very hopeful.
And Chhavi, in fact, the trend that we are seeing is also that women in the household are deciding the votes of other members of the household. They are able to convince their men, their sons, their daughters, the direction in which the entire family should be voting. So that vociferous woman, or woman having the say in the entire electoral process, is something that we are seeing. But before I let you go, a quick word also on your own experience of 10 years. What kind of pushback did you feel?
I'd say quite a few, because where I was working, within my village it was easier because I was perceived as the daughter of the village. I'm not sure if it would be the same if I were married and had a leadership role as a daughter-in-law. But as a daughter, things were very different and very positive for me. But as far as the administration was concerned, they were not used to a woman, and that to a young woman, sitting across the table and questioning them. So there were challenges. Again, the fact that people were not comfortable with that scenario was very, very obvious, whether they stated it or not. But through how things would get delayed, and often when I would take a step forward, there would be huge pushback, wanting to push me back 50 steps back. But the good thing was, and this is why I choose to be optimistic, because I think that's the only way you can survive in the scenario, especially in the rural scape, where the support system is lacking, not just in terms of limited funding, but also in terms of the technical support, because we don't have access to the expertise that is easily available in the urban spaces. And I do hope that more people will realize the opportunity that our country has, more so when we're looking at the rural spaces where there is, it's more of a cleaner canvas, which I feel if people understand and appreciate where the damage has not really happened, and if we choose to develop it in a very systemic planned manner, then how this country can change and the potential that the country has can easily be tapped. And for that, it is very important that women and youth are taken into account, what our challenges are voiced, and the execution needs to happen on the ground as well.